Well, I would start by asking the heroes in Thunderbolts are all underdogs and there's a certain disillusionment in them. Do you think this reflects a real disillusionment of the times we are living in? Nowadays, can we still feel identified with the classic heroes, or do we need this kind of anti heroes?
Hmm. I mean, I don't think that we did it for that reason, but I do think, there is a kind of. I think that we always need to find new ways of telling stories, even classic stories. And while there is a kind of classic team up here in a lot of ways, like assembling a group of characters that are really going through, a different level of kind of disillusionment or depression than you would expect from a normal superhero feels like a new way in to that story. And yeah, I mean, I think you're always telling stories, you're living in whatever times you're living in and you're bringing yourself to those stories, and the actors and the writers are as well. So if some of that seeps in, then that's only natural.
Mhm. Well, the movie clearly tackles things about mental health and existential angst. What does it add to the superhero genre? Is there still certain stigma around this?
I think that, for us, I think it was less about trying to kind of alleviate a particular stigma or message, and more just finding, an internal story to tell that felt personal both to the people who wrote it and to me and to the actors and what they brought to it. And, I think every movie needs to feel like it has a reason to exist that's new, and I think that we wanted to find something new within this genre and within this kind of story to tell that felt different, and this felt like an honest one that we could tell in a different way.
The original Avengers are somehow gone in this movie, and you play with that fact that they left a gap that somehow needs to be filled. Was there certain pressure maybe to differentiate this team from them, but still make them work as well as they did?
I think I don't know that there was particular pressure. I think there's always pressure to make a good movie. And I think that, when you're making a movie and the stakes are world stakes, it felt like in this case, especially with a character like Sentry in The Void, you wanted to figure out, okay, maybe this isn't the team you would most expect to save the world, but in this story, why are they the exact right team for this problem at this moment in this contained world? And really align their arcs with the kind of conflicts of the antagonist, and make that all kind of work together.
How do you feel about being part of a huge universe such as the MCU, and the fact that these Thunderbolt characters will continue to grow in other projects?
I think it's an incredible opportunity. I think, so many wonderful movies have been made here that so many people love. And I think when you have an opportunity to go into a film and you know that there will be this attention on it, it's the kind of movie that people want to come to the theaters to see. If you can give them a good movie, and if you can really give them something that feels new, that attention is there, and, have a real theatrical experience, that's a special thing these days. That's not something you can always count on. So I think, that felt very exciting, and this group of actors was just incredible to work with. And so, yeah, to get to watch them go on in the story and do other things and things that, really matter to the world is going to be very fun to watch.
How did you try to balance maybe the humor in the film, but also the deeper themes like trauma, depression that we've already talked about?
Yeah, I was coming off of a show that I did called Beef, that, dealt with a lot of these same ideas and also had a lot of humor to it. That's something Lee Sung-jin, who created Beef, wrote multiple drafts of the script. And, we tried to put in that same kind of balance of tones. And I think, I tried to make the movie resonant to both ways that I've felt in my life and ways that friends of mine have felt. And some of the people I know who have gone through some of the things that we're talking about in the movie are some of the funniest people that I know. So it felt almost like it would be dishonest to that world if it had no humor to go with that life has all of these things within it, and we tried to find a balance that felt honest.